I'm Elise, I'm a product manager for the augmented reality platform at Facebook. We recently released new branding for it called Spark AR, and I'm excited to be talking to you this afternoon a bit about what we've been doing to bring AR into social experiences. I'll try to leave some time at the end for questions. If not, you can always catch me during the coffee break. And I'll be covering a few different areas. First, what is Facebook's longer-term vision for social AR? How does what we're doing today fit into that vision? And then the main components of our platform, the AR creation tools for developers and artists, our AR capabilities, and the channels where we are bringing AR across the Facebook family of apps. So first, to start out, we believe, of course, that AR will be huge and transformative for how people connect in the future. And lots of examples come to mind. You can imagine being able to have dinner with your grandmother who lives really far away because she can sit virtually at your dining table, or being able to leave virtual messages and gifts for your friends to discover in different locations. A simple way of describing it is maybe turning the world into your newsfeed. But of course, we're not quite there yet. That's the more pervasive, always-on, head-worn AR future. And we're still in the early stages of that. So eventually, AR and VR will both live in head-worn devices. Currently at Facebook, we are delivering VR through head-worn technology, of course. But on AR, we're focusing on mobile apps and content on mobile for a few reasons. First, AR glasses or head-worn headsets are just not quite ready for large-scale consumer adoption. Secondly, we want to give developers and creators an easy and cheap way to start creating things in AR, and mobile is a wonderful gateway into that. And third, there is a ton of scale with mobile. Lots and lots of people have smartphones, and many smartphones are AR enabled. So it's a way to get meaningful reach in the near term. And finally, there are many meaningful things you can do with AR mobile, of course. This crowd knows that. So in the social realm, that could mean giving people new expressive tools for video and photo sharing. It could also mean allowing them to try products on virtually through Facebook advertising experiences. We have not been in this for that long yet. So we first launched our AR platform in May of 2017 at our annual developers conference. And that year, we released our AR creation tool called AR Studio. You can use it to have JavaScript and program interactive AR effects for the Facebook camera and now the Instagram camera. You can make fun face masks and also effects to place into your world, like 3D stickers. And we launched a number of effects through different partners on the Facebook camera in the first year. Some examples range from Warner Brothers with enabling people to become the Justice League characters through the Facebook camera, several beauty brands, including Sephora and Rihanna's Fenty beauty brand, and Game of Thrones. The advantage with working with AR Studio to build for the Facebook products is that you build the experience once and it works across both iOS and Android. And because it's delivered through the Facebook camera, you have potential for lots of reach. 1.5 billion people have access to AR experiences because they have the Facebook app, which includes the Facebook camera. This year, we want to really expand upon that. What that means is growing the inventory of AR content. It means giving developers more abilities to make AR experiences and bring it to more people and more channels. So I'll be talking about 3 dimensions of that. The first is continuing to make AR creation easier and more accessible, particularly for also non-technical creators. The second is supporting more AR capabilities so we can bring more context-aware social experiences to people. And finally, opening more channels where people can experience AR across Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger. So first with ease of creation, we're trying to address a few major pain points in the AR creation process. One of them is that, of course, not everyone knows how to program or is really proficient with programming, and we really want to open up AR creation to people who aren't technical. So one of our features in AR Studio is called Patch Editor. It's a visual programming interface where you can drag and drop nodes, connect them to each other, and use visual programming to specify interactions in AR effects. So now you no longer need JavaScript, and you can make interactive effects. We're adding new features to Patch Editor this year. So now you're able to play back audio and manipulate audio with Patch Editor. You can create materials and blend textures. You can also save your patches and reuse them in other projects or share them, so you don't have to redo them over again when you need to have them in another project. Another pain point is that importing 3D assets can be unpredictable. This is not unique to AR Studio. It's a broader industry phenomenon. There are different file formats. Some contain animations, other ones don't. They might use different material references. So we understand that can be a frustrating part of the creation process. And to make that easier, we now support multiple file formats for import. We'll automatically import the animations and assign materials for you. And we're also working on physically based rendering, so you can specify materials like real things, how shiny is it, how rough is it, etc. Finally, a major pain point, of course, is building the actual 3D models themselves. This is time consuming. It requires graphical expertise and talent, and we want to make it possible for people to make AR effects without having to create the 3D models. So this year we launched a partnership with Sketchfab, and how this works is there's a library in AR Studio that contains a collection of 3D models pre-made from Sketchfab. We've already vetted them to make sure that they are compatible with AR Studio, and you can just browse them and add them directly into your projects. And by the way, along with this, we also have a sound collection. Facebook has a sound team. They make lots of useful sounds you can add to AR experiences, and that's part of the library as well that you can automatically include in these effects. So after making creation easier, I also want to talk about what AR capabilities we're supporting and working on. We divide these into two main categories. The first is being able to augment yourself or other people in a scene. And the second one we'll be talking about later is augmenting the world around you. So within augmenting yourself, we already had a good face tracker. It was fast, performs well. But this year we launched a high fidelity face tracker that tracks 30% more points on the face. And you can see she's enjoying looking at herself beautified in the camera. But what it does is enables more precision and accuracy around areas like the eyes and the mouth, and this is important for realistic makeup effects. We recently launched Facebook AR ads and newsfeed, and one of the major verticals we're tackling with that is, of course, cosmetics. So this really unlocks photorealistic cosmetic try-on in those ads. Next is hand tracking. Your hands are such a fundamental part of how you interact with the world, so being able to track the hand and attach effects to the hand is important for unlocking new kinds of experiences. Here's just a fun example with an Avengers hand effect. With our hand tracking, there is detection of the hand within a bounding box around the scene. It supports multiple hand poses, could be a closed fist, could be an open hand, and it's pretty easy to use. The next one is background segmentation, also a pretty fun one. This is just basically being able to cut out the background and replace it with something else. So here she's having a ball doing karaoke against a karaoke background. You can transfer people into new destinations. And it's the same technology that powers Instagram's focus mode, if any of you have used that, which blurs the background and makes the foreground clear. So next is augmenting the world. Besides augmenting people, we also want people to be able to insert virtual content into their world or change their world. One of these capabilities is what we call target AR. It's being able to tie an AR effect to any 2D planar object in the world and follow that around the scene. There are many possibilities with this. The 2D planar object could be a sign, as is illustrated in this video, but it could also be product labels, it could be illustrations in books. the possibilities are many. And one of our examples from this year that we launched is a partnership with Ready Player One at South by Southwest. We did an effect that used target AR to create a portal effect that's associated with their movie poster. And if you scanned their movie poster with a Facebook camera, you could see this really cool portal effect and walk into it. This next one is more earlier stage. It's called scene understanding, and it's enabling the camera to recognize concepts, not just a specific 2D image or object, but a whole concept, like knowing that the dad is in the kitchen and the mom is in the living room, not just recognizing a specific tree, but trees in general. We have about 40 known concepts right now. We're working on training more. And this will really be more powerful in the future. Eventually, we want the camera to be able to understand your world, and the more it's able to do that, the more it's able to give you context-aware experiences. This next one's been available for quite a while. It's simply just being able to target AR experiences to particular locations. Just want to highlight it because as AR evolves and expands, it'll become more and more important for these experiences to be location relevant and to be particularly tied to certain locations so they feel like they're part of that place. We're moving to a world where you not only can place AR into an environment, but that AR will feel like it belongs there. And location AR is one of the basic capabilities for getting there. The location can be as broad as a country, or it could be as specific as a particular address. Finally, we are enabling 3D posts in Newsfeed. This is one of the simpler ways to get into AR, and it's just another way of starting to introduce AR into places where people are already using social. So this is a rather contrived example with the octopus, but a more relevant example is, of course, with Facebook ads, the newsfeed, you could have the creative and the ad unit be an AR model of the product, and then when they click on the ad, they actually enter the Facebook camera to try on the product. So finally, last but certainly not least, is distribution, is opening more channels across the Facebook products so people can experience AR. A big push this year has been bringing our AR platform to the Instagram camera. We are accepting applications into the closed beta on Instagram. What this means is we're allowing third-party developers and artists to make augmented reality face filters and world effects and publish them into the Instagram camera. We started out by working with select partners to prototype and understand what really works well on Instagram. So some examples include we launched AR face filters with Ariana Grande and Kylie Jenner. She had a really successful lipstick effect on Instagram. We also tried out world effects. We did one with the NBA with a slam dunk basketball hoop you can place into your scene when you're capturing a scene. So it's been a really exciting journey so far. The next phase of this is actually opening it up to more creators, and that's why we're accepting applications, taking them from anybody, and we're going to have our first batch of creators who are not already known brands or influencers and see what they come up with. We've also been introducing more kinds of AR experiences into Messenger. So Messenger Bots has an AR integration where if you converse with the bot, it can take you into the Messenger camera to try on an AR effect or an AR product. We launched a few of these earlier in the year. One was with Sephora. The Sephora bot can take you into the Messenger camera, try on several different makeup looks. We also did one with Nike that was really successful with their most loyal fans, helping them see a new sneaker in AR. And that's just a brief flavor of what we've been doing so far. I'm happy to take questions from the group and kind of get more into discussion about our platform, where we're heading, and what kinds of experiences will be interesting for this group to learn about. Thank you.
So, okay, first question right here.
Actually, it's not one question there, it's two questions. First one, how do you intend to monetize AR experiences? And the second one, how will you deal with the dangers of fake content being created for platforms like AR and VR inside Facebook?
Yep, great question. On the monetization front, it depends on the use case, and we are experimenting with a variety of use cases. So within advertising, we're able to plug into existing monetization models, and we've shown in our first tests of AR ads and newsfeed that the AR version of the ad, when A/B tested against a non-AR ad, drives statistically significantly more conversion. The next step there is making the creation of these assets far easier and cheaper. And one of the potential ways to do that is to create a tool where the advertiser simply needs to upload the 3D models, and then we auto-generate the AR effect for them. Ad formats are rather standardized, so it's possible to actually create templates and just plug 3D models into those to generate the effect, so they won't even need to use the AR Studio tool every time they need to create an ad. On the video and photo sharing front, we're figuring it out. Currently, the model, I suppose, is branded content, where many brands and influencers, they are looking to AR as an innovative way to engage with their followers. The nice thing about it is not only do you get impressions, you get people trying on your effect, using it in their own media, and having their friends see that, which is really powerful, and it's something unique to AR and different from video or photo or other traditional forms of media. So we're seeing lots of interest from movie studios, gaming companies, beauty brands, those types of brands where this kind of engagement is powerful for them. It's a tricky balance in terms of what is branded content that's promotional, has promotional value, but also is good content, generally good content for consumers, and we're still figuring that out. We don't want it to feel so promotional that, it ruins the actual consumer experience, but obviously, without it being branded content, there's no other monetization model currently right now for the creation of that content. I think some of this is also helped by the fact that there's already currency on Instagram, for example, with building followership and gaining more followers and gaining more engagement from your followers, and that doesn't require immediate compensation. So we've been, I think, benefiting from that as well to kickstart AR. To your second question about fake content, so we apply the same principles to AR that we apply to all the other content on Facebook. We review every AR effect experience before it goes live, every single one, and we review for both objectionable content, inappropriateness, as well as spammy or misleading or deceptive content.
You mentioned that location AR can be as precise as some specific address. Can it be more precise, like a part of the building or a monument at the square or something like that?
Yes, great question. Our Facebook graphic locations does actually have some monuments in it, so landmarks like that are possible. Now, getting more specific, like a particular space in an indoor building or someone's room, that's something we're still working on. Requires building the map.
Hey, after I developed a AR effect, how can I achieve that the user on Facebook can use it? Or how can I promote the AR effect?
Yes, there are different ways to help people discover it. So, for example, with the creators that we're bringing on to Instagram, it will appear in the Instagram camera tray to all of your followers. We are going to be releasing an entry point to discover the effect on the Instagram profile page. We also provide you a deep link that you can place in your bio on your Instagram profile page or share it through other social media, and anyone who taps that deep link on their mobile device will directly open the Instagram camera and load the effect. So we're giving people a few different tools. We understand that some of the challenges today are we're squeezing AR, which is a 3D medium, into the smartphone, which is really meant for 2D content. And so figuring out how to activate people into these experiences, helping them discover these experiences is a challenge, and we are continually working on figuring out the UI challenges and providing more discovery entry points. We are, for example, building out QR codes, and the target AR capability I showed is a physical call to action in the environment that you can also leverage to drive people into the AR experience. Yes.
Can the AR effect that you're building with the Spark capability, is that something that can incorporate a photo that you just took or comes from another source like your photo albums? Or I'm just thinking that there might be opportunities to integrate a photo that's of interest to you or your friends that you then incorporate into the scene that of where you're at. Kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
it's almost like placing a statue or something in every location you've ever visited, but it's a photo.
That's a good idea. I don't know that we've explored that yet, but yeah, it's a good idea. We are looking into, as another way of extending this, we are looking into adding AR into a photo you've already taken. So we realize that when people are taking photos, they may not have the time or the appetite in that moment to be playing around with how do I add this AR effect into it, and that is a user behavior challenge we have to overcome. So one of the ways of doing that is if you take the photo without AR, we're enabling you to go back when you're uploading it or you're editing it before you share it on Instagram, enabling you to add the AR after you've captured it. That's also interesting for commerce as well, because if you see an ad for something, you may not be able to, do the AR try on in that moment because you're busy doing something else. But if you can, if you have a picture of your living room, you can add it to it later and see how it works.